address the elephant in the room. I set up this channel, I was really excited, I got a camera, made a couple videos, didn't make anything for a year. So we're back. I'm still very much going to talk about books on here, but I want to incorporate a little bit more of my life as well. I'm also going on a big trip in a couple of months' time, and I really want to capture that, and I think forcing myself to get into the habit of posting regularly will help, so that when I go on this big trip, it'll be just, I'll already be in that zone, I'll already be doing that. And I just thought it'd be fun to do a little bit more long form content. Probably about 80% of my life is spent making short form content for work. I'm a social media manager, I am the social media admin for a women's hockey team, and I also make my own content about hockey. So I kind of just want to try this out and stretch my creativity a little bit. Welcome along for the ride. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully it's somewhat enjoyable. Show you some of the books that I've got recently. I really wanted to, for my birthday, go to Hampstead and just go book shopping and sit on the heath, and that is exactly what we did. I got 6 books in London, and I think I've picked up 3 others, and honestly I am planning another trip to the bookshop tomorrow, so there might be a few more added into this. But for now, let me talk you through what I got recently. Starting with the books that I got in Hampstead, I went to House of Books. Unfortunately this is closing down, which is really sad to see, but they did have lots of very heavily discounted books, so I did try and make the most of that. Starting off with A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. Lots of people have told me to read his book Beartown, but that wasn't in there, and I have heard lots about this book as well. As you can see, I'm currently reading it. I'm a little bit of the way through. I am enjoying it, but I read 2 5-star reads just before this, so I feel like I'm maybe comparing them a little bit too much, but I'm gonna keep going. I've still got the price tags left on these ones. As you can see, they were very heavily discounted. They were all £3.50. I got Lanny by Max Porter. Again, one that I've heard lots and lots about. I feel like I heard lots of booktubers talking about this years ago, so when I saw it, I thought, you know what, now's my opportunity to pick it up. I also think the cover's really beautiful. And then we have The Pursuit of Love by Nancy Mitford. This was recommended to me by a friend. We were in a bookshop and she said, you have to get that. And I took a picture of it at the time, had it on my list of books to get in the future, and then I saw it in the shop for £3.50. So we've picked that up. Then in Waterstones, I got The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. I loved this book. I loved this book. You can see I've done a little bit of tabbing. I feel like this is one that I'm gonna have to reread. It broke me, it put me back together, it broke me again. I can completely see why it was the winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction. It was just, I loved it. I loved it. I think it's so incredible. So it's an epistolary novel, which means it's made up of letters. I always love that kind of book. Every book that I've read like that before has always been an enjoyable read for me. I think it's just a very cool way to tell a story, and because our main character is an older woman, she's in her 70s and her 80s throughout the book, it kind of makes sense that it's all being told through letters and through emails. But there's so many themes that are explored in this, and I loved it. I was actually listening to the podcast that she did with Jack Edwards for his Inklings book club, and I didn't realise this is her debut novel. She's 39 years old. She's written lots before but not had anything published, and I think what an incredible first novel. I think she's going to become one of those instant buy, instant read authors for me. And this is also a book that I've messaged pretty much everyone I know and been like, you have to read this book. Buy it now and read it. I actually didn't get this one in London, but I do feel like I need to speak about it straight after The Correspondent because it was another 5-star read for me, and I read those 2 back to back. This is Heart the Lover by Lily King. It was also shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. I absolutely adored Writers and Lovers, which is also by Lily King. This is a prequel / sequel, but it's also a standalone. You don't need to have read Writers and Lovers to enjoy this book. However, the last line really hits a different way if you have read Writers and Lovers. But this is about a love triangle. Lily King is the queen of love triangles, by the way. We see these 3 characters. Our narrator isn't named, unnamed narrator, and these 2 boys, Sam and Yash, and it follows her relationship with both of those whilst they're in college, and then follows them through when they graduate, and then kind of has a bit of a time jump. There's a little bit of back and forth time jumps as well. Again, another book that devastated me put me back together, and then devastated me again. I do feel like I need to do a bit of a deep dive into Lily King. I know she's got quite a lot of other novels, so I think that's next up on my list. Moving back into books that I bought in London, I went to Daunt Books. Actually, Daunt Books wasn't on the list of places to go. I know that might be a crime, but I was like, I'm not going to buy loads of books, okay? I've bought 4, that's enough. And then we were walking to the Heath, and the entrance to the Heath is right by Daunt Books, and I thought, I'll just have a little look. The first book is God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Now this came from a recommendation by Jack Edwards. I've gone back into my Jack Edwards era. I'm watching a lot of his videos at the moment. I haven't watched them in about 2 years. Kind of suddenly remembered that I really enjoyed his recommendations, and here we are. He said that this is a book that Taylor Swift read on the Eras tour, and if it's good enough for Taylor Swift and it's good enough for Jack Edwards, it's certainly good enough for me. This is about a summer camp. It's about 2 children that go missing. I'm just very intrigued. I'm very intrigued by it. And then we have The Catch by Ursa Daly Ward. This explores themes of motherhood and daughterhood, and that's always really interesting to me. I think that's one of the things I really enjoyed about The Correspondent as well, was one of those kind of through lines being about motherhood and the relationship between mother and daughter. When I bought Heart the Lover, it was on the buy one get one half price table, and that gets me every time. It gets me every single time. Whoever thought of those tables, whoever was the first person to do that, I owe you my life, but also you have made me spend so much money. But anyway, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid was on there. Taylor Jenkins Reid, I'm talking a lot about like instant read authors, but she is another one of those. And I'm intrigued by this because it's about astronauts, and I've not really read any books about astronauts, so we picked her up. And then finally, we have another Jack Edwards recommendation. This is Evenings and Weekends, and I really should have looked up how to pronounce this name before I started this video. I really don't want to butcher it, so I'm just gonna hold it close so you can see. And honestly, I picked this up because I really loved the blurb, the very last couple of lines of the blurb. So it says, a Saturday night approaches in a city on the brink of political upheaval. All their lives are set to change forever. It's the hottest summer on record, and the weekend is about to begin. I'm intrigued. My dog's looking out the window and I'm really scared that the postman's there. I'm gonna go and look, hold on. Okay, panic over, there wasn't anybody there, we're all okay. So obviously quite a lot of books here, but I've read 2 of them already, and I'm making my way through a 3rd, so we're making good progress. The first 2 were 5-star reads, so I'm feeling that like the bar's very, very high. I'm feeling optimistic, but there will probably be at least 1 miss within here. And that is the book haul. As I said, I am going book shopping tomorrow, so there might be a couple more. Enjoy the rest of this vlog and everything that I got up to in July. In an attempt to be a better vlogger, I'm going to bring the camera with me today to the rink. We are in the 2nd week of our Welcome to Hockey programme, which is teaching young girls how to play hockey and like remove the barriers by giving them equipment. The dog is squeaking because she's like, I know about this already. I need you to take me on a walk before you go. Don't worry, I will be taking her as soon as I'm done filming this clip, but I'm going to take her along with me. I'm also going to go to Waterstones. I have a voucher, it's burning a hole in my pocket. I want to go and get some books. This is the one thing I really struggle with every week going to the rink though, is it is so hot outside, but it's obviously freezing cold in there. So to be honest, I'm either too hot once I'm outside of the rink and I'm too cold once I'm inside of it, and that is I've just accepted that as my fate. I think I'm also going to bring my book with me, and I think I'm going to read in the Waterstones cafe. But yeah, I'm going to try and film some of the behind the scenes of being a social media admin, although I will be honest, I do get a little bit self-conscious, so we'll see. I'm really trying to get over my fear of videoing in public. We're heading to the rink now. I've just picked up some water and some gum. Not very exciting. Let's go. Film this clip like 10 times. I think I'm a little bit delirious. I've not had any food since 9 and it's now 3, so I really need to eat. But just to update you, I know I said I was going to go to Waterstones and like get a coffee and write a Substack article. Didn't do any of that. Ended up having a meeting after training to kind of talk about the new season, everything we want to get, all this sort of stuff. So I just came home when that was done because, like I said, I'm starving, I'm ravenous. So I'm going to have a Tesco's meal deal to revive myself. I then need to research, film and edit my Elite League news of the week. So in off season, for some reason, I've made it my mission to do a weekly roundup of people who are signing with teams, re-signing with teams or leaving. And every week I leave all of the research until about 2 hours before I need to film it. Then I have to do all of that, film, edit in a mad rush. We've done that again this week. So I need to do that, and I probably need to start editing this vlog, finishing this vlog, because there's not that many days left of July. Look how cute she looks. And then there's me hunched over my computer trying to edit. I love doing these. I do. I love the end product, but I get to about this point in the edit where I've got to put in all of the different signing announcements and all of the different team logos and all of that, and I get annoyed. I get annoyed at how like finicky it is and how many I have to do, and like no one's asking me to do this. No one has held me up and been like, you need to do this. I've chosen to do it, but I don't know. Honestly, I think I'm just tired. I think I just need to go to bed, but I can't. So we're just gonna power on through. Where's my photo of Luca Sheldon gone? I've just got to the end of this edit and realised I haven't actually finished the vlog, so I'm gonna end it here. I will get better at these, okay? I actually didn't think about vlogging July until halfway through it, and then I went, I could vlog July. So August, I promise I will be doing it from the beginning. Hockey will also be back, so I will have lots more going on. So yeah, bear with me whilst I kind of remember how to do this, and I will see you in the next video.